So we just had a major storm, and we're in the middle of a lake bed, which floods like any lake would. And some idiot just drove off the county road, actually drove up to our road, and then I guess was smart enough to see all the water and decided to turn around and then take some other road, which is in the exact same lake bed, exact same difference. Was able to make it over to the mountain side, which the road over there has lots of rocks and stuff on it, but is still unmaintained private roads. All of these are private roads. And, they just gassed it up and slammed through the water. And now they've just realized the hard way that they're stuck in the middle of nowhere. And if they're very lucky, they're within walking distance or so many hours of the farm that they were going to. But they're stuck. They're likely going nowhere. I don't know. They're a lot better off stuck on that road than where I'm at. See, this is my truck right here. It's been parked all night for the past couple days. And I built up this ground right here with lava rock and different things, so it's somewhat stable. Otherwise, you can't walk in any of this. You'll just sink down inches, and or drive, same problem. So I have a four-wheel drive, and I wouldn't consider, and I have many feet lift off the ground, and I wouldn't consider driving out of this driveway right here to that yellow fence and take a left and go up to the main road and take a right. I wouldn't even consider doing that. I'm stuck here for days. I have no intention of leaving because I will just end up getting stuck out here in this big open plains. So I don't live here. I'm visiting somebody and caretaking their property, and now I'm stuck spending days here, which was part of a video I wanted to do, but this other car gave me the opportunity to talk about them instead, because I don't know, they're able to move a little bit, but they're just dumb. They're not smart enough to figure out that if they can move at all, they should turn around and hightail it back the way they came while they have the opportunity, because they will spend day after day after day here, because I'm not about to go try and get over there and help them. I can't drive, like I said, 20 feet right now, and which is part of the point of survival, is not knowing how to survive in the wilderness or in rural rugged areas, with a knife or a toothpick. Survival is having common sense to notice the water on a muddy road that you're not familiar with, or diving into water that you don't know how deep it is. Look before you leap. And so my survival is anytime I'm driving, somewhat of a distance. I own property in these mountains here, and I own property way over in those mountains over there, and I'm visiting this property here, and now I'm having to find shelter inside of this abandoned trailer, which is basically trash, and as you can see, there's just trash everywhere. So it's kind of like finding shelter at the dump. But see my other videos. Just an hour ago, there was hail the size of the end of my pinky covered this whole area, and possibly there's still some in my truck. To show you an example, this is how bad it was just an hour ago. The storm has stopped, but this hail, right, it's July right now, by the way, so this whole area was bone dry, and it was 80 something degrees earlier, or yesterday it was 90 something degrees, and now it's flooded out. And so anytime I drive, even though I have property and I have tons of food at my property and at my other property, and I technically live an hour away in the closest town where I have a bedroom and shelter and electricity and running water and all of that, I still have many cans of food in the back of my truck. I have a dog that I have to take care of right now, so I have a 30-pound bag of dog food. I have many gallons of water. I have all sorts of random little knick-knack tools and I have clothes. I have, hats and knitted hats and, things that you never know what exactly you might need, It's 90 degrees out, okay, until it starts hailing, the size of dime and floods the whole area. I'm going to be stuck here for days before this will dry up enough to be safe to drive out. So I don't want to be that truck, way over yonder, which you can't quite see. But, they're stuck. And I have food and water and shelter. I have a sleeping bag. It only cost me $5, even not on sale. It was only $7 for an air mattress, a cheap air mattress from Walmart, $7. And I put it inside of that trailer right there. There's not even a door on the trailer. Put some of my belongings in there so they wouldn't get soaked. The hail, you can see my other videos, was going sideways, probably likely 40 miles an hour. Do not trust weather reports if you're going to rural mountainous areas, because the weather reports are typically for the big cities and civilized areas, and they could care less to do research in places like this, because weathermen and people are not real meteorologists nowadays and use science. They just go online and use an app or something. Wow, this truck is going sideways. It just got moving again. I don't know if you can hear it because that's almost a mile away, but they are stuck so bad. It's sideways now, and people are out of the car trying to dig them out, and they're just running their wheels, and they're not going anywhere. Their best bet before the sun goes down is to hike to whatever property they're trying to get to, and maybe they can convince somebody to try and drive over there and pull them out. I have a trailer hitch right here with a hook. The last time I tried to help any of these people, these are basically immigrants that come out here to grow weed and do different things out in the mountains, and they're workers, and they don't have common sense, and they to me were disrespectful and didn't give me back my shovel and basic tools when I helped them get out of this environment. So I'm not going to help them anymore. Let them help themselves and let their friends, let them go hike to their friends and let them, risk their trucks and vehicles going and helping them. But I'm not going to. And the property that I don't know. Anyway, sorry not to sound like some weird racist or hate rant, but, people have to have some kind of common sense. So back to survival. Always keep a few main basic tools, maybe a screwdriver, a wrench. You can buy these things at the dollar store. A few tarps. These things cost $1. Well, you know what? This is bone dry, and I didn't show you a picture or anything of it. And these are jumper cables. A ratchet set from Harbor Freight. These are very cheap, easy things to have. And again, like this tarp was actually over this, and the other tarp, I was able to tarp up just over everything, real basic like. Didn't occur to me, or I didn't have no idea that it was going to rain 1 trillion tons and tons and gallons of water, enough to flood this whole area. Had no idea. And yet for the 99 cents, this tarp kept all of this stuff dry. And if I had to cut some wood, you know, to put under my tires or something to maybe get out of this flood, or, you know, I have a shovel, I have a pickaxe here, which is called a mattock, you know, so I can dig. I have boots and clothes. Anyway, probably off topic by this point, but I hope I made the point. You never know when you're going to have an act of God that's going to keep you stuck somewhere, even if you think you're just going, you know, a few minutes away from your place or visiting somebody. And I'll be warm tonight in my shelter, and I have food and water, and my truck will be fine because I'm not moving it for the next 3 days.